So nobody's sharing how we can assume that the project is successful or project management is successful. When all principles are followed properly, yes, definitely, that's a very good point, and assume by principles that it could be the constraints that we've mentioned, which is time and budget. But this is not the only thing that will make a project successful. At the end, it's actually the customer satisfaction. Because as I mentioned earlier, sometimes the client is not clear on what they want, and we deliver exactly what they requested, but it's not what they had in mind. And I'm not sure if in your field of work you could relate this to some examples, but I know from my side that usually it's very essential to involve the client in every step and give him a really good feel of what to expect at the end of the project to make sure that he's aware and that you get his satisfaction at the end. But many companies run into such a problem, which is they deliver everything assuming that the client will be happy, and then when the client comes and tests a software or receives a product or item, he's not satisfied because it's different from what he had in mind. So moving on, we say, I'm asking if a major saving in time or money is a good sign. We got the comment that the client will never be happy. Well, it's not what I have actually. Most of the time, our clients are happy, but you have, it depends on the type of clients you have. I usually look for happy clients, so they're happy by default. So, what is a major saving in time or money a good sign? And is it really a major saving a good sign when we're running the project? And I will tell you it's not really a good sign. It usually means that you've overestimated things, and this could be of big negative impact on your operations of the company or the client. Why? Because sometimes you plan projects according to something that you're already running now. And an example give us an idea of that is, let's say you're moving or you're building a new office for your company, and you also want to get new furniture for it, and you assume a certain budget and certain time for finishing the building, and you order your furniture according to the estimated time you have for having the building done. And then you end up finishing earlier, a few months, but then you cannot use the office because your furniture will not be done on time. And if you, let's say you had assumed a bigger budget for spending on the construction, and you end up saving a lot of money on that, then you have probably deprived yourself from buying better equipment or better facilities for your office. So this is if you're running something in-house, like for your own company. So if you're saving a lot of money and time, it usually has negative impact on you, and it means that you have not done your homework properly on planning and identifying really what's within the scope of your project. And if you're running something for the client and you end up with such big savings, I think typically you will lose the trust of the client, because they will think that you're not aware of what you're doing and you're having wrong estimates. And sometimes you would lose that client because you're overestimating the money compared to overestimating the cost or time compared to your competitors. So it's not really a good sign if you're having a lot of saving in time and money. You want to aim for having accurate estimates, and you want to aim for really achieving what you estimated initially. Here we could go together over a case study which would relate to us how sometimes project management could have, if implemented properly. This is an example of an Indian company specialized in manufacturing of telecom and switching equipment. They were among the best in the world in the efficiency and manufacturing processes. So they were really very competitive, and they had these contracts internationally. But then competition became more stiff, and the market changed because of newcomers from the European Union, the new countries that have joined the European Union, and the competition coming from the Far East. So they started losing their contracts, and one of the biggest contracts that hurt them was losing contracts with the export market in the U.S. So I typically, this company, they're always having the best quality and the best manufacturing processes. They have always worked on their sourcing and having very good competitive prices from their suppliers. So they thought that there's only chance in really looking into the management of their operations and implementing thoughts from project management into the way they run the product and their operations. So they gave project management approach to the product life cycle that they have, and with that they studied more the costs. So they identified the cost and allocated it more properly to the different elements in the production. They distributed responsibilities to the different teams that they have, and they created a sense of ownership within the teams. They gave rewards and incentives for the teams, and they started putting benchmarks for focusing more on the time of delivery and the cost of the products they have, and not only on the quality and reliability. So with that, which is mostly related, what mentioned is mostly related to a project management approach. With that, they were able to really identify new areas of improvement, and they could become more competitive in what they're doing and gain back their contracts without adding headcount, just by improving the way things are run within the company. And this is a real example which shows how there could be a major difference when we look into how we run things in a better way through applying project management skills.